Alright, timestamp 12/27. It's December 27th, 2025. Right about 5 a.m. I got a chihuahua that apparently is going to explode unless I do something. If you let me out of my chair, I can actually do something. Thank you, Scrappy. I appreciate that. Something died out here. Something definitely died out here. So, it's been up for about probably 30 minutes, maybe 40. New stuff in the path. That's not good. Yeah, Brian down the street came over to check in yesterday briefly. And in the spirit of old men, we discussed the weather. You mentioned that there was going to be a cold snap coming in. Yeah, this is probably low 50s. I'm okay. Pigs be freezing. True story. Oh, it's a giant tire. My eyes have adjusted a little bit. It's giant, well, not giant, but like a utility tire, really thick one. I won't be able to see it, but maybe you can make it out. I need to take some serum server. Woke up with a bit of a headache. I'm hoping it's not an oxygen thing. You know, because oxygen deprivation can cause headaches. So, reinforcing the idea that maybe I should be doing a BiPAP. Hey, bud. Hey. Heck, saying good morning again. Hey, Scrap. You good? I'll take that as a yes. You know, if you're pushing on the door, I can't open it. Oh, weird. Still waking up. Alright. Whoa! It's over here. Scrappy. Hey. There you go. Do this. I just had a genius show up. Scrappy, you already had yours. Go. I'm going to give some cats some cookies. I'm going to go get the door. Because I need more tentacles. Jesus, hey. Hey. Back off. Hey, here. Yeah, good morning. Good morning. You want your scratches, I understand. Scrappy, back off. Hey. You're stomping on it. This. I'm being mauled by a three-legged cat. Hey, yeah. Trying to give you your cookie here, bud. Good morning. Careful. Clearly not working out. I gotta go. Oh, his tail's doing the bottle brush. Scrappy, go! Sorry, little guy. Haven't grown tentacles 3 through 8 yet. Did you find the cookie or are you just walking on it? You're licking your lips. Okay, I think when I walked away you figured it out. Tanner. Here you go. Okay. Got everybody covered. You had your cookie. Go. One per customer, guys. Everybody's looking at me now like, hey, you doing more? Oh. No, we're not. Definitely take some Tylenol. Yeah, we'll use the new Daffy one. That'll be fun. The Many Faces mugs. Love these things. Alright. Guys, I'm really just trying to walk from A to B. No? Not gonna let me? You know, it's swell being popular. For you guys. Make it very difficult. So we've been mowing on the barbecue chicken. I made some of the pie filling yesterday. Big batch, I couldn't actually put it all in one pan. Thinking about taking what's left because it's a small pan worth. I'm thinking about freezing it. So it's an already like prepped treat. I just need to like bake. I don't know, thinking about it. Could happen. Hicks had some, Tiny had some, I had some. Scrappy's about to get my foot. Enough. Oh, you guys. It's like getting into a crowded elevator. 4, please. Scrappy, if I pour hot coffee on you, promise it'll be a mistake. Because this is the vanilla macadamia, I don't waste that. If it were Maxwell House, which is still okay, but I'm more apt to use that for crowd control. Tylenol. God, I gotta go back over there. You two play nice. You're both pretty. Can't quite determine if Hex is being a jerk or if he's just playing rough. You're okay, Janice. Hey, you don't want these. These aren't cookies. These are not Temptations. Most people consider this just a form of pain relief, fever reducer, headache pill kind of thing. Some people think these are toxic and cause massive birth defects and all kinds of diseases and stuff. But let's be clear, those people are idiots. One too many brainworms. So yeah, I made myself because I think I'm the only one up. And it's not that I'm keeping something from my youngest. Tiny doesn't care one way or the other. So sharing my favorite isn't a treat, if that makes sense. Can't do pills with coffee. I don't know. Okay. Woke up to Colin Baker and Perry going at it with the Cybermen in a conflict, not the other kind of going at it. That's weird. Don't think that. And I just heard the What Were They Thinking theme music for Sylvester McCoy, Doctor Who opening theme music. I think they did him an injustice there. And for the record, because this is an old argument, whatnot. The first and second Doctor, 60s, you got what you got. Fourth Doctor music is nostalgic good for me, but I think they really knocked it out of the park with, and technically it was like the last season of Tom Baker too, when they started doing the new theme music. But I think it's more widely recognized as like the Peter Davison theme. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But technically they used that for very congested. I'm thinking I might be sick-ish. They used it for the last season and a half of Tom Baker, and it continued into Colin Baker too. So after Peter Davison, and then they went to what they did to McCoy. I think they changed it up a little bit with Colin Baker too, just a little bit. Like a little bit into his run, they changed it up a little bit because the theme music it's kind of evolved over the years. The basic thematic's been mostly the same, and they've tweaked it and synthed it. I think with McCoy they absynthed it, because I don't know what. I know it was the 80s. I was there. I don't know that what they did was a good idea, even through the lens of an 80s kid. No. I think what they had with Davison, they should just stop. You're good. You got it. This will hold for another decade. Just let it ride. Checking over my eBay. I've sold a few things this weekend. Well, not even this week. I mean, it is Saturday now. But the past couple days, I've made a couple sales. I think I have 4. So I have 3 already packed, ready to go, and I just made a 4th sale. So, that's good. It's very good. I got a bunch of stuff being launched. I don't have any. I think I have 1 auction being bid on out of 15 auctions that I have, but I've got another 30 that are about to drop scheduled listing wise. I preset the time that it would become a real auction kind of thing. Those will be hitting this afternoon, but I'm going to be loading some more on top of that, because I have items got so much I can list. Oh. Oh, happy almost birthday to me. Yeah, that's the good stuff right there. My birthday's Monday. Honestly, I don't really make a big deal of it. It's very, very TV Hollywood comic strip, but mid-40s, I kind of was like, yeah, I'm going to keep this low-key. And I pretty much kept it low-key ever since. Yeah, my wife likes to put the spin on it that at this point we're leveling up. I'll be 55th level. And as a gamer, I get it. But still, there is that marching towards death aspect that I don't really care for so much. I know, Hex. You're like, what, 3? You're fine. You're not even middle-aged, sir. No, I know. You're like in your late teens, maybe? In cat years. Yeah. So we got our Temu stuff yesterday. And I had ordered a bunch of faux books. They were running, it was like $2 for 10. Somebody had up like a listing for 400 for like $7. I mean, just if you've been on Temu, I mean, I'm new to it, but I get the gist. Some ridiculous pricing. And I have heard that they do have some garbage on there. I have heard that. But I'm new. So I think I ordered from 2 different vendors. If you add it up, they were pretty much the same product, and I could tell they were probably getting it from the same place. I think I ordered like over 400 faux books. Didn't cost me that much at all. But these are good for like populating a bookshelf in a dollhouse or in a diorama, something like that. And some of the titles I recognize, some of them even Pix. Pix is probably, at this point, probably better read than me. Because at a certain point, honestly, 10, 20 years ago, I kind of stopped reading to a degree. I just didn't have time to sit down with a book. It's one thing I look forward to is actually having that moment where I can sit down and read. You know, I love it. You know, and as an example, a book that I'm not going to read this copy. Just to be clear, reading this copy will be complicated. True. But, I mean, just to give you an idea, what they did is that it's a little piece of foam board in there from a crafting standpoint with some cardstock, printed cardstock wrapped around and glued hard. Hard. Good pirate word. So you've got the binder and the back print. The Hunger Games. It's a book that I've wanted to read since it came out. Haven't read it. Haven't seen the movies either. Kind of one of those ones that I want to read the book before I see the movie. Yeah, I'm that guy. And Pix is that girl, so we work. But yeah, just Maze Runner. I we split them up yesterday. We were like little kids sorting baseball cards. I loved it. That's like happy moments for me with my girl, you know. Just being dorks. But I made 2 bags of the ones that I kept. One bag, about the same size, of books that I have no knowledge of whatsoever. Because there's a lot that I'm like, who is this author? I've never heard of this person. And even Pix on a lot of them was like, I don't know. She knew a couple that I didn't, but I knew a couple that she didn't. Time Machine. This one's Maze Runner, which part of a series, you know. Watership Down. Votre Ah, see, that's not actually to scale, if you ask me. That's War and Peace. Realistically, same size as the Hunger Games. I don't know about that. Dostoevsky. That's right. They did some Harry Potters. Votre Dracula. And some of these Zuru did in their run, and you can actually, open them and they're like real books. It's freaking cool. But these will be really great for populating a library scene. They even did, I only got 2 of them, but they even did some like Doctor Who novelizations. Healing 101. It's by an MD. I kept this over here just because I'm like, is that like a real like self-help medical book? That's kind of cool. I'm guessing that all these are based on real books that have come out, and that I just don't recognize some of the titles. Night Circus, Mockingjay, because they did like entire series of. But every bag we got I think a bag of like 200, and then a whole bunch of like 10 unit bags. So the whole bar was just full of stacks of, as we were sorting whatnot. And there were a few that we got multiple copies of, which is fine. Totally fine, For what we're doing, great, cool. It's an Agatha Christie Hercule Poirot compilation. On the back, it says Murder on the Orient Express, The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, Curtain. That was his last. Curtain. Call the Wild. Gotta admit, I love what they did with the cover on that. It's pretty. Very basic, very old school, I read a lot of Jack London when I was a kid. I think I might have liked White Fang more. Loved them both, though. Loved them both. Little Women. And they'd have to be to fit in here. Unnatural Creatures. Okay, I was like, am I reading that right? I am reading that right. Interview with a Vampire. And I recognize that cover. I've had that book on my shelf before. Wicked. Wicked! Hey, speaking of which, Ace is probably on TV right now. It's bizarre to me, because read Wizard of Oz and a few of the other bombs, man. That was a literary pun. So I read Wicked, the book, and I've seen the show. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I've seen the show. The differences between the various things are really quite extraordinary. So if you read the book Wicked and Wizard of Oz like back to back, very different viewpoints on what was taking place. And then you see the show and you're like, okay, this is a completely new story. It's magnificent, but Kidnapped. Read a lot of Stevenson as a kid too. Charlotte's Web. Can't go wrong with that. That Charlotte's Web, that's a fantastic book. Speaking of Wizard of Oz, or actually The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. I was going to say, I think the title of the book's different, actually. But yeah, I read a lot of Charlotte's Web type books when I was a kid. Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim, there's some good. Yeah, and somewhere in here is a book I thought I was gonna have to fight for, because there were some where it was like there's only one copy and we both want it on our shelf. We're gonna go to war on this one. We played nice. Robin Hood. Another Harry Potter. The Hobbit. But yeah, I forget what it was that there was something that we both, I know what it was. She got a copy of Coraline. I love her. So it's like, but I got Arabian Nights and Animal Farm out of it. So it's like, compromise, right? But there were a few that I got that she was like, but I got this, so you okay? Painful. You've got To Kill a Mockingbird. You've got, Gone with the Wind. 20 that you'd like, but so would your partner. One copy. We made it work. Yeah, I think it was Coraline that was like, I really want it, but I didn't walk away empty. You know what I mean? But yeah, compromise. What are you? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong side. Dostoevsky. Crime and Punishment. Da. For crime there must be punishment. I'm not gonna pull out all 120, but just to give you an idea. So, because these don't open, these will be great on the bookshelves in the background. Right? Yeah. Oh yeah. And the ones I've never heard of, not sure what I'm going to do with them exactly yet. These are going to be more free-floating possibilities. The ones that I haven't even heard of, I kind of don't want to alter them, but at the same time I kind of am in that, does it really matter? I may actually affix them together in rows to make them solid pieces, if that makes sense. That I can just, that way if they spill, it's not, suddenly we're playing jacks. Actually make them into base units that fit onto shelves. May do that, I don't know yet. Or maybe a bunch of smaller stacks of 5 or 6 to where they're, several units on a shelf. But these, because I recognize them, they'll mean more to me, free-floating in the library kind of thing. That's the theory anyway. Yeah, and there were a few that we got multiple copies of, which, I think the Hunger Games series, we each got 2 sets. There was Twilight. See, I don't have any problem gluing those. Oh, and there was a full series of 50 Shades of Bad Writing. Yeah, I said it. There were even some Dr. Seuss in there, which is pretty cool. Definitely the wrong scale, though, when you think about it. Because if these are trade paperbacks, there's Alice. It's a pretty neat cover for Alice. Let's see that. But if these are paperbacks or trade paperbacks, even if they're hardcovers, Dr. Seuss formatting, those are usually rather tall and skinny. So, but, yeah, we'll forgive that. I mean, Dr. Seuss publishing, printing, they had a very specific, scale that their books were printed in. Are printed in. They're still using the same format, I believe. I haven't sat down with a good Seuss in a while. Remember being quite a fan of Go Dog Go. Go Dogs Go. And of the classics, I've actually been asked this before. Of the classics, I'm kind of a green eggs and ham guy. Yeah. Cat in the Hat, Mad Respect. And as a grown-up, I've come to appreciate the Lorax. Didn't mean as much to me as a kid. As a grown-up, though, I get it. Weird that you can hear a story when you're a kid, and then when you hear it, 20 years, 30 years later, you go, oh, okay. Takes us a minute, I guess, right? But haven't gotten any phone calls that I didn't want to get, so that's good. Still feel like I'm getting one, though, Did thin out my Looney Tunes mugs a little bit because of the different collections that I picked up. And I love them all, don't kid yourself. But I got a lot of Tweety and a lot of Taz. Like more than I would have in my normal collection compared to the others, So, and there were some mugs that I'm like, yeah, I like it, but I don't love it, So, making some space, pulling out, because the whole idea is surrounding myself as much as possible with things that make me happy, things that I enjoy. And that's something that, as a Gen Xer, I understand now. Having huge amounts of stuff isn't the point of it. And I am going to have, toy-wise, probably huge amounts of toys to a degree. But they're going to be toys that I play with, that I use. Not just collecting to collect. Collecting to put in a box. What's the point of it? What's the point of it? To be able to say, I own one of those. I'm gonna use part of my counter as allotted by YouTube. Who gives a fuck? You own one. Woohoo! Doesn't matter. Who cares? If it's a personal point of pride, cool. But when it becomes that encompassing to where you must own them and have them in a box in your attic, what's the point? Why? I look around the stuff here and it's like, why? Do you actually need 200 baking pans? Do you? Do you need 200 baking pans? And I'm not trying to echo the orange guy. If a girl wants 37 dolls and is playing with 37 dolls, then who are you to say they can only have 2? But if they just got 37 dolls in a box and they're a grown-up and they're not doing anything with it, You know, if you're saving something so that you can sell it later on, totally get it. Totally get it. Done that. Doing that. Been there. All got the t-shirt, the mug, calendar, all of it. But the hanging on to stuff just to hang on to stuff? No. No. I'm over it. You know, we'll be thinning our personal comic book collection too. There are some runs that I'm going to keep. You know, I'm going to keep my older Green Lanterns. I'm keeping my Daredevil. You know, there are some that I'm keeping. Keeping my X-Men. It's a no-brainer. And there's a lot of others that I'm going to liquidate. I mean, realistically, if I'm going to read them, I'm going to read a graphic novel version. I'm not going to mess up the ones that I've got. Yeah. Pull out a comic from the 1960s and casually breeze through it. No, I'll wind up damaging it. Get down now. Excuse me. Kaiser being a dick. Yeah, you. Excuse me a second. When the stool is on the other side, sometimes the old man cat will jump up there and decide that that is in fact an invitation. The stool being there is an invitation that he should saunter across the bar. And that is not the way of things. Old man, that is not the way of things. So move the stool. Him on it, he's fine. But you want to sit on the stool? No problem. Using it as a springboard to get on the bar? Big problem. But yeah, like I am collecting Doctor Who figures and things like that, but that's because I plan on playing with them. I gotta reset that Doctor Who figures went everywhere when I moved the furniture the other day. Made me sad. It's like I moved it and I heard thunk, 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 thunk. I'm like, okay, that was either unit or some Centaurans going down. I'm not sure which. A little bit of both. Okay. I'm gonna do some chores. I just got the dishwasher loaded and started. Gotta do some laundry stuffs. Still got some paperwork stuff to do for my dad and my mom. Yeah, that Sylvester McCoy theme music, man. Why? You had it. You had it and you changed it. Kids. But I'm gonna do some more eBay. I should have over 300 listings by the time the day's done. Maybe even 350 if I can really. Maybe. I don't know. But the more you have listed, the more you sell. And there is the no-brainer of, well, yeah, you got more things up, but also the algorithm of eBay, if you're constantly listing things, it promotes you. It promotes your products more than people that don't list on a regular basis. It's just how their system operates. So helps me push to the front a little bit. And I got stuff to sell. I'm not selling my books, damn it. I just got my books. I like my books. These are cool. These are cool. I got some furniture stuff, so I'll show you next time or the next time. But yeah, these are... It does actually kind of bother me, the whole Dr. Seuss book being like the same scale. It's like that. I love the fact that Seuss is here, but the symmetry on that. I don't know. What are you? Genius and Madman. Okay. Lesser known Louisa May Alcott. Little Women, Little Men. It's an English teacher in me coming out, right? Yeah. War and Peace. That should be thicker. That should be thicker. I'll let him slide. I've never read War and Peace. I didn't have a free year handy. I've read some encyclopedias, but I haven't read that. Joking, not joking. We had as a kid, 1976, the Bicentennial Edition World Book Encyclopedia. It was white with like red and blue stripes and little gold stars on it and whatnot. Bear in mind I was born in 70. And sponge for information. That World Book set, it's still here actually. We boxed it and put it in the workshop. And that's one thing that I'm like, we may actually hang on to that. I mean, it's a 1976 encyclopedia set. I mean, like 35 big old thick, this is A, this is B. And Tiny was looking at it and was like, well, this is actually kind of cool. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to give you the whole, before, the internet and movies. We had movies, they were called books. I'm not going to give her that speech. But the idea of printed information from the 1970s, possibly before, it's going to sound a little political here, before politics and the tendrils started changing what information was fact and what information was fiction. Some people would call it like pre-Matrix, because we're all in the Matrix right now. I don't believe that. That's a little extreme. But I do think that the information that we get has been manipulated and distorted a great deal over the past 5, 10, 20 years. So, 1976, there may not be, you're not going to look up, the Russia-Ukraine situation in there. That won't be there yet. But anything 76 and older should be closer to pure data, I guess would be a way to put it. So, when the dust settles around here, we may hang on to that. And there is the nostalgia factor, because I read the shit out of those. I just pull one of them out and just start learning. L. Let's look at L. Llama. What is a llama? Me as a kid. Because remember, 3 out of 4 times I do test Gryffindor. But that 4th time I actually tested Ravenclaw. Yep. That means I'm the guy that's not afraid to kick open the door. But I will actually read the brochure first. Knocking doors off their hinges. Oh. Kick it here and here. See illustration 3. Oh. Stress point. Got it. I'm that guy. And then I kick the door. Anyway. I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. Health check. I feel a little congested. Again, I still feel like maybe I'm coming down with something. I don't know. Not like rushing me to the hospital, but not 100. But I'm not 40, so yeah. I'm gonna enjoy my coffee. Hug your parents, hug your kids, all that. All right. Make it a great day.